Lots of companies talk about the use of AI in biology.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear in your words what you think you and the team at Optimus are doing differently.
Yeah, sure. So what we do differently is that we develop AI solutions to understand biology in humans. So when you hear about AI in biology, most of it is about understanding molecules, right? So small molecules, big molecules, we talk of proteins, antibodies. So there's been lots of progress in using AI to design new molecules. However, what we care about at Optimus is not designing molecules. It's understanding when you design a molecule, whether it will have an effect, a positive effect for patients. And this requires understanding the patient biology, not the molecular binding. So this is what we do very differently from others.
So why do you think other companies in this space haven't done the same thing?
Probably because it's harder. In a sense, designing molecules is something that is hard, but for which there's been massive progress. AlphaFold starting a wave of innovation. And now we see lots of companies applying AI models like LLMs adapted to proteins to design them. When you go to understanding whether your drug will work or not in patients, which is really the pain point of the pharma industry, right? That maybe we should remind listeners that designing a molecule is one thing, but passing the clinical trials, meaning once you have your molecule, you test it on patients to check if it works, if it's not toxic. This is where the big failure is. 90% of the drugs fail. So it's a more important problem, but it's harder because the data is harder to get to train AI models. We talk of data from patients. And also the architectures, the way to train a model is like an open question, much more open than when we focus on a very specific molecular design problem.